Hello there, welcome back to Noodsgaming. It's finally here. We finally have version 1.13 in Raid Shadow Legends, as promised. So today I'm going to go over the notes in the major feature update. I'll give you guys some personal opinions about the Battle Pass, and that should wrap up the video. So let's get started. So first things first, you probably noticed that upon logging in, they updated the buffering background. So I think this is a great improvement, just in terms of the quality as well as the artwork. I think it fits Raid Shadow Legends a lot more than just having the 4 starter champions. That was great before, but Raid Shadow Legends is growing and it needs to update its artwork and its style if it wants to remain relevant. That being said, let's take a look at what else they've updated. So, they start by saying that they've been working hard on this release for a while and we're happy to finally be able to deliver our latest patch. Now, considering how long we've been waiting for this patch, I would think that they would be happy to release it for more than one reason. But I digress. So there is actually a lot in this update, so I'm going to try and get through it quickly. So first things first, Battle Pass, Season 1. One season is 8 weeks. Gives you daily and weekly challenges, as well as special rewards based on your experience level within the Battle Pass. Essentially what it means is that every time you complete what I would consider a challenge or quest, essentially within the Battle Pass system, you get points. Those points are used to level up your Battle Pass level, which then allows you to collect rewards. There's obviously a free-to-play version of this, and there's a pay-to-win version. The free-to-play version is called the Core, which is denoted by a silver eagle head, and the Gold Pass, which is the pay-to-win version, is denoted by a golden winged eagle. So while we're here, we can take a quick look at the rewards. I already collected my level 1, which is an ancient shard, one free refill, and 1 day double XP. I've also leveled up by doing my daily challenges. So today I had to do champion leveling, arena battles, defeating void champions, and claiming all the playtime rewards. The playtime rewards are the rewards that you gain over time just by spending 2 hours. I think it's 2 hours. No, sorry. 2 hours? 2 hours. 3 hours, sorry. By spending 3 hours just idling in the game. So essentially it's a free reward. So those are the 4 challenges. You get those. They each give you 5 points. Those 5 points are used to level you up. And I'm currently at level 2 with 5 points. Now with the Gold Pass, if I had purchased the Gold Pass, I would have gotten all of this plus all of this. So I would have gotten an additional 100 gems, plus one of the new champions, an additional Battle Pass XP, which works exactly like the regular XP, but it's unique to the Battle Pass, so you can't get it outside of the Battle Pass. And the avatar relating to the new champion, which is the Banshee. Now, what I find interesting about this system is that the weekly challenges are only afforded to those who pay to win. So if you want to get the Gold Pass, this is what it's going to cost you. It's going to be $24.99 for the basic Gold Pass, and for the Gold Pass Plus, it gives you 25 levels and all of this additional loot. So I'm not going to get too ranty about it because it will take me a long time to get through it, but that's just a quick overview of some of the things that you'll get. So you'll get champions, gear, books, enchantments, what else? Yeah, so more avatars specifically tuned to the new champions that you're getting, more books, some brews, basically everything that you would normally get in the game by just playing, with some exceptions. Obviously, you can't farm gems in the game. You can't farm the XP bonus, XP banners. You can't farm clan boss keys, and you can't farm things like energy refills or avatars. So there are a few things in here that I think are definitely worth investing time in. Obviously, as you get higher in level, you're going to get significantly better rewards. The final level, which is level 100, being that you'll get the new legendary, which we'll go over in a second. So again, this is super pay to win. I think it's not really geared for people who are free to play because you will not get the better of all of the rewards. So just as you can see here, they give you rewards that you would only be able to get in Clan Boss just by paying for the Gold Pass. And that's at level 96. We're not talking level 50 where you're still getting epics. We're talking level 96, which means I don't even know, I don't have any calculations on how long it would take you, but considering if you daily challenges only give you 5 points and weekly challenges give you 12 points each, one of which I've already completed apparently, I imagine it could take quite a while in order to get to 96, because just like with any game that requires leveling, the XP increases essentially exponentially. So, but that's a brief overview of the Battle Pass system. Now let's get back to the new features. So we've talked about the Battle Pass briefly, and here are some of the Battle Pass champions. Or actually, here are the Battle Pass champions. Wolrim Frost King, that's the... you might recognize his motif from World of Warcraft. He is the Lich King. Lich King? I think his name is the Lich King or the Witch King. One or the other. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that. I do not play World of Warcraft. I haven't played it for a very long time, so I apologize for that. I do think it's excellent, but please forgive me for that. So War and Frost King. Void Legendary, you saw. Once you get to level 100 in the Battle Pass, which is the final level, if you have the Gold Pass, you get him as a reward. He's a defense type, Void, and he's a Knight Revenant. The Stag Knight, he's the Knight in Shining Armor with the big halberd and the shield with the crowned stag on the front. Epic Champion, which was surprising to me. I thought he would have been a Legendary as well. Bannerlord, Support Type, and Spirit Affinity. Ursine Ice Crusher, he's the big polar bear. Epic, Defense, Force, and Skinwalkers faction. Ursine Ironhide, that's the black slash grizzly bear champion. He's also same as the Ice Crusher. He's Defense Force and also Skinwalker and Epic Rarity. The Frozen Banshee and Grave Chill Killer, those are both Undead Hordes champions. The Frozen Banshee is the level 1 Gold Pass reward that I showed you. Both of these champions are rare, attack type, magic affinity, and Undead Hordes faction, as I had mentioned. Now, with new champions come new buffs and debuffs. So the debuffs include a poison sensitivity debuff, which increases damage from poison debuffs. It can be either 25% or 50%. There's a decreased crit rate, which is a brand new debuff, as well as a decreased crit damage, both of which can either be 15% or 30% decrease. New buffs include an increased crit damage, for 15% or 30%. So not only do we have a new decreased crit decreased crit damage, we have an increased crit damage. We also have an increased accuracy, which is self-explanatory, as well as a strengthen. Now, you may know that there is a debuff called Weaken, which increases the damage that any champion may incur. Strengthen is the polar opposite. So if a champion has this buff on them, they take reduced damage, either 15 or 25%. Some other updates include a dwarf crypt, so they finally opened up that 13th location in the Faction Wars map. So if you have a nice dwarf roster, I would definitely suggest going through the dwarf crypt, seeing what you can do, because the more rewards you can get out of this game with having to pay for them, the better. Added visualization for certain passive skills. This, I think, is something that they should have had from the beginning, but I understand it can be sort of daunting to have to do all of that programming right up front, especially if you have a major corporation breathing down your neck to get everything out as quickly as possible and worry about the details later. So some passives that are going to show up in the game so far include Shield Guard, Bloodhorn, Gurgok the Augur, Pitiless One, Enethway Blood Twin, Fergus, Molly Tankard, and Vizier of El. So that's a nice broad pool of champions from uncommon all the way to legendary. I'm pretty sure it represents every affinity in the game as well. Not every faction, obviously, but I think this is a good start for them. I think, and I'm hoping that they'll be able to continue this trend. I think it's really important for them to be able to differentiate themselves this way in order to make sure that their player base feels satisfied with the quality of their work in terms of the visual updates within the game. Something that I actually utilized today is the increased multi-battle attempts. So normally it would be 15 free battle attempts for the campaign, but now they've increased it to 30. And for those who have a raid card, or a raid pass, as it's called in the shop, I believe, it increases it to 100 total. Now, this means that you would need 1,300 energy per day in order to make use of this 100 total. So, again, I think this is basically only going to be useful for those players who are in the top tier, who are whales and, as Darth Microtransaction might say, Kraken status at this point. As I mentioned just before, multi-battle is also a thing now. It is a limited time event, unfortunately. So this may just be a test to see how it works out. I'm hoping that they decide to keep it, because I think it is something that should be implemented as a permanent feature, especially for people who are trying to complete the missions to get Arbiter. You know, having an auto multi-battle to be able to get through those, do 10 of these missions would be super helpful. Regardless of what point in the game you're at, I think it's something that's important, because at some point you're going to have to farm dungeons, and not everyone has the patience or the time to just sit there and keep clicking. Some people just want to let it play in the background so they can do work or play other games or whatever they're going to do. So hopefully Plarium will understand this and implement it as a permanent feature. Some other things that they've added include a warning for when you're sacrificing champions. That way you don't waste any artifacts or accessories that you might want to keep. They've also increased the animation speed for upgrades in enchantment and enchantments by 50%. I did actually play with this today in order to get through the daily quests, and initially I was apprehensive, thinking that it wasn't really useful, but actually what they've done by increasing the speed is they've actually made it much smoother. However, I will say that you won't get to see what the bonus is until it's finally finished rendering the upgrade. So while before you got that excitement just before it finished updating, that you got to see what it improved for you, you don't get to see that until after it's fully completed and it's rendered its upgrade or enchantment. That's a little bit of a disappointment to me, but that's super minor. That's really a luxury complaint at this point. They've added new effects to Clan Boss, so Gathering Fury. This is essentially their block damage and unkillable team debuff, or nerf, I would say would be the better term. So starting from the 50th turn, all attacks will ignore any block damage and unkillable buffs on each target. Um, so anyone who's running a team that has an unkillable or a block damage, so if you have a Rushard or a Man-Eater, or a Sir Nicholas, or any of those other champions that provide either block damage or unkillable, if you're getting to the 50th plus turn, which again I haven't calculated personally, then you're going to start seeing diminished returns. Also, they have essentially killed the clan switching trend that was going on in the game. Now, since I have a very small clan, it's not really important to me because my clan mates don't need to skip back and forth, especially since I got my clan to Nightmare by myself, alone, without any help. So yeah, I imagine for larger clans, this could be very important, especially those clans that like to cheese the system and be able to get multiple rewards because they've either exhausted their own clan boss rewards due to Plarium's mismanagement of the clan boss system. But that's something that's not important to me, but it could be important for those reasons. Champion rebalanced. They've rebalanced some skills for champions including Angar, Foley, Cythalia. Shamrock was a really big one. A lot of people have been waiting on that because he was sort of like a let's see what happens kind of champion. Also, Tormund the Cold, they've nerfed his passive a little bit, not intensely, but it is nerfed a little bit to make it less. I don't know what's a good word for it. Well, annoying is sort of not good enough, but we'll leave it for now. Buff Dionica, that we all knew that was coming. And then they just sort of have an overview of some of the things that they've done in the game, essentially summing up what they already gave in the patch notes in the Plarium forum, as well as what we've just gone through. So battle engine optimization and fixes, visual effect fixes, various fixes throughout the game. Player and play text are now visible no matter what window size it is. They fixed crashes when beating a clan boss, localization and UI, and apparently much more. And that's it. That's essentially it. I don't want to take too much longer. Like I said, it's up to you whether you want to go pay to win or free to play. I will be staying free to play, just in sight of the fact of Plarium's recent mistakes. Even though they've acknowledged them, it's clear that there's someone higher up that's making decisions that are driving players away. And I think essentially what it's doing is pigeonholing Raid Shadow Legends into a market that is strictly for people who have no regard for budgeting, essentially. Which, I mean, I guess could work, but for me, it's not for me. I have spent money on this game, but I have stopped spending for over a month now, and honestly, not much has changed. I still get to level up my champions. I still get to do dungeons. I still gather silver. I can still gather energy. As you can see, none of that energy is bought. It's all from daily gathering, so it's definitely doable. Am I wasting some time and efficiency? Yes. Is it going to take me longer to have like this massive pool of ascended 60s? 100%. Does it matter? Not really. I'm in the end game. So for me, what's important now is to get into the nitty gritty of gearing and things like that. But that's it for now. I hope you guys learned a little bit about what's going on. I will have a more detailed video about any changes that come up. I'm actually going to be doing a video on that 50th turn for Clan Boss, because I actually haven't ever counted how many turns I go through. So what I would like to do is do a Clan Boss video where I actually sit there and count the turns. So definitely bring a snack for that. I'm gonna be having music in the background. I might be doing other things while counting. I might have a counter up. So all things are, so there definitely are things coming in the future with this battle pass, and I'll be keeping you guys up to date on how my battle pass experience is going, as well as what I'm going to encounter in arena since I'm in gold 4. Regarding Tormund and some of the other champions that are going to probably start popping up thanks to the new debuffs, as well as the new buffs and reworks. So thank you again for watching. Once again, I hope you all continue playing the game. I do enjoy this game, and I hope you'll stick with me, and I'll see you guys soon.